2012 was an amazing year for women's soccer in Ottawa. Let's start with the ladies. And there is so much more to come. During the season, we celebrated the success of past Fury players at the Summer Olympics in London. We thank the inept Norwegian referee and Abby Wambach for starting a huge groundswell of support. A ride which culminated in a bronze medal, and one in which we relished. 7 of those medals went to players with long Fury histories, including Kelly Parker, Robin Gale, Mariette Noah. The list goes on. And the ride continues with BMO Field in Toronto selling out the rematch on June 2nd between Canada and the US in 10 minutes. And of course the 2015 Women's World Cup, where Ottawa will be one of the host cities in the new stadium at Atlanta. For the Fury women, 2012, years of being the bridesmaid were over. Ended in glorious and dramatic style in front of our own fans here in Ottawa. We finally captured the big prize after falling at the final hurdle. I don't know, at least 3 times, don't we? 3 times. Goodness knows how many times in the Final Four, 9 consecutive division championships. It was a wonderful moment to bring home that trophy that sits right there that we hope to keep for a bit longer this season. So the biggest moment in the history of our club, trailing by a goal against Cali Blues in the final, an equalizer in Fergie time, as we now should say, or perhaps Oliveri time. Took us to overtime, penalty kicks heroics from the skipper, Jasmine Phillips, and that title was finally deservedly ours. So, 2013, all we can do is look to repeat. At the Fury, one of our slogans is, our success is defined by the success of our players. So it's no surprise that many of those 2012 Fury ladies are now playing around the world. In the new Women's Soccer League in the United States, like Kat Williamson, Courtney Wetzel, Jessica Schufelt, who are all playing in Portland. Got 16,000 people watched the first game. Lisa Marie Woods playing in Boston, Casey Ramirez playing in Denmark. I could go on, but you know, we welcome their success. We enjoy it with them, but it does mean that if we're going to repeat, it will be a vastly different squad with which we do it. So, Don Oliveri has once again painstakingly recruited a new squad of players. Players selected not only because they're good players, but because they have the potential to go further in the soccer game, and most important, because they'll fit into the playing style and our trademark brand of soccer known as Fury Soccer. So it's going to be an exciting season, and I'm pleased to welcome Don to the podium to introduce the 2013 WE squad.
Well, thanks, John. I will say that I'm glad that I will never ever have to hear again that we are the best W League team to ever have won a championship. And I can truly say. So last year, of course, was a tremendous season for the women's program. It's a tremendous feeling to since the final, because John,
I'm keeping
it.
Safekeeping.
I think he sleeps with that at night sometimes. But it's a great feeling. It's one that I would like to experience again with these players. As a staff, we're extremely excited about the players we've been able to recruit here this season. Once again, we've been able to recruit some of the best talent from across the world. The goal of our club and this team has not changed on the women's program. We're looking to field a competitive team and one that will retain its trophy next season.
All right, Dom, another season, a lot of new faces. Talk about the W League Championship from last year and the transition that this team has taken from winning a W League title 10 months ago to the team you've assembled for 2013.
I mean, firstly, what a great end to last year. I don't think we could have scripted it any better to kind of come back in the 93rd minute, get the tying goal, and to have Jasmine, who's pretty much the face of the franchise, come up big for us and make some critical saves and basically win the penalty shootout. Absolutely tremendous. For this year, obviously winning the W League Championship helped us recruit. I'm really excited by the talent we've been able to bring in here, and I think player for player we're probably better than we were last year. So really excited to get going on Friday.
So in today's press conference, you talked about the number of players from last year's squad that have now gone on to play professionally in Europe and in the NWSL. How much of that was a draw for the players you were able to recruit this year, knowing full well the success that past players have had in leaving the Fury W League program?
Yeah, I think it's a big thing for them coming to a program that has a history of success for developing players. Yeah, I mean, we had a ton of players signed professionally last year, but even going back a few years, I mean, we've always had players get to their national team programs from our program, play professionally. So it's been not just last year, but a number of years where we've been able to have success.
So you don't have too many returning faces, but one key one you mentioned earlier is your captain, Jasmine Phillips. How important is it to have her back, not just for the position that she plays, but the role that she plays in the dressing room for your squad?
I mean, firstly, Jazz is the face of the franchise here in Ottawa. Everybody that knows the Ottawa Fury will know Jasmine. She's worked with the club and the youth program and the First Touch program as well. So really glad to have her back. I mean, she's just a tremendous person. I've never met someone like her, someone who every teammate loves her. And she just helps unify the group, so I'm really glad to have her.
Once again, you've been able to gain some interest from players down in New Zealand and Australia. Talk about those three players that you have coming in for this year.
Yeah, some great players. Came really highly recommended. Katrina Gorey, who played with us last year, recommended all three of them to us. So Emily Jelnick, Australian International, has just broken into the senior team. Tremendous striker, big, quick, strong, finishes really well. So I'm really happy to have her on board. Gemma Simon, kind of a little tricky wing player, really good 1v1, which is a great crossing. And Liz Milne, who is the outcast of those three, the Kiwi, is a center back, basically, who plays with the national program as well. So happy to have all three on board. You also managed to recruit several players who new to the team this year, but do have W League experience in their back pocket. So how important it is that for your team to have these players coming in already having a couple of W League seasons under their belt? Yeah, it's really important. I mean, the biggest transition for most players is not having played in the W League, not understanding the standard of play, how quick things work, and how we have to play. So and Alicia and Shalina, who played for Toronto last year, they know us really well because they played against us, and we're actually really glad that they're on our side this year.
So for the first time in franchise history, the Fury are no longer championship chasers but championship defenders. So how do you approach the season differently, knowing that you've always been hunted in your division with 9 division titles consecutively won for your side? So what do you do to defend that championship in 2013?
I mean, I don't think we have to do anything differently on the field. I mean, the players, we're going to keep playing the same way. We're going to have the same style of play. We're going to ask them to keep doing the same things. But I think what changes a little bit is, like you said, is that everybody's going to be after us. Everybody's going to try to knock off the W League champions. So I don't think we're going to get in any easy games. And I said that to the players when they first came in. They have to be ready for battle every day because everybody's going to want to beat us. So I think that's just the one little change. And although it is something we need to work on, I'll take it because that means we won last year. So
thanks very much, Tom. Back for another season with the Ottawa Fury, Captain Jasmine Phillips. Jasmine, I know you were asked this in the press conference, but you finally won the W League championship last year. You could have just said, "All right, that's it. I can retire on top." What was it that made you decide to come back for another season?
I think the fact that I didn't feel like I was done. I just wasn't. Not that I wasn't satisfied. Obviously, how could you not be having won that? But I just wasn't ready to be done. I still had that sense of my competitiveness in me and everything, and I just wasn't ready to not do anything for the summer. I got to keep busy, and I have to do what I love because you can only do it for so long. So I think I'm still capable, and it'd be a shame for me not to do it.
Just reflecting back on that experience from 10 months ago, can you in any way describe the emotions that went through when Conhini's penalty kick went in to seal the championship for your side?
No, I mean, I don't know. It was pretty surreal. I think that whole game was just unbelievably exciting, and it was honestly the most amazing game I've ever been a part of. It was a long one, but it was a really, really great game all around, Like, we fought really hard as a group, and I think having it go as long as it did, it just made it so much more amazing. Just having to hold on for that long. So.
You've played many seasons here with the Fury. You've seen a lot of different faces come and go with the squad. What is it about this team that is able to gel every year despite having many new faces come in each season?
I think a lot of it is the recruiting. You know, Dom does a great job recruiting. He recruits not just based on talent, but based on personalities. So we don't get a lot of the prima donna issues that a lot of teams might have. We don't get a lot of the clashing personalities. He talks to coaches and he talks to all kinds of people to find out who we're getting and what we're dealing with. And he does a really great job of picking players that are going to work together on and off the field.
Now, not to make you blush, but Dom has called you the face of the franchise for the Fury. And what is it about that you feel your role is with the team? Because you're not just the goalkeeper and the captain for this team, but you do a lot more off the field, not only for your teammates, but also for the club.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around for a while, and I've had a really great opportunity to be able to coach here and work with a lot of our youth players and a lot of our really, really young kids. So I'm really familiar with it all. I know how the club works to some degree, and I know a lot of the people in the club, so I can ask the questions that players from out of town might not know, and I can help the players, like the youth players who have questions. I can kind of get answers for them too. So I think I'm lucky to be able to work both ways.
Similar question to what I asked Dom. For the first time you come into the season, no longer chasing a championship but defending it. Do you feel any added pressure or expectations coming into this season?
I don't know. I think maybe. Yeah, the boss is saying yes, absolutely. I think regardless, we've always wanted to win it. You know, we've never set out not to win it. So I think that our goal is still the same. And I know people are going to be gunning for us, but they gun for us almost every year anyways. We have a really great track record, so I think that as long as we show up and we do our work and we play the soccer that Fury's well known for playing, I think we'll be successful.
And from yourself personally, any expectations for yourself this season?
Just want to play great soccer.
Thanks very much, Jasmine.